warm up a little bit. So from hands and knees, I'm gonna tap the legs back one at a time. Take the legs, curl the toes, tap and tap. And then you could add opposite arm, hand, so right arm, left leg, tap, and go back and forth. And so that's just one way that I start to connect into my center, my trunk. Good. And then I'm taking the knees a little wider as I start to sway in the hips. Big circles, moving the pelvis, moving the spine through some extension and through some flexion. And then I'm going to add arm raises. Good, and then I'm going to add side lunges. Right foot comes out to the side, hands walk closer as you go back and forth. And then if you want to, you can open from there. I've been really enjoying this shape so far since winter began about 2 weeks ago. So side lunge, open twist. And then we'll switch sides. Take the left foot out into the side lunge. Walk your hands closer so you can rock side to side, back and forth from there. And then keep the right hand down and open twist. Okay. From here, actually, we're going to come onto our backs. And if you need to shake your wrists out, that's always helpful. And then I'm going to bring the knees up and lift the legs up. My arms are going to go back behind, so you can decide if you would rather have your arms out to the side or back behind your head. And I'm going to point and flex the feet and then separate the legs. Move the ankles around. So this all can become part of your own flow of feeling out your pelvis, your spine from this position. Your leg muscles. And then from here, feet to the mat, I'm going to take some pelvic tilts. So that really helps you get into your spine a bit more. And then add from there some hip bridges going up and down. So I like to rock my pelvis away when I come down and then press the back of my sacrum, base of the spine into the mat and lift up from there when coming up. And release. And so then with that motion, I also like to experiment with, squeezing the butt and then releasing. And just starting it at different intervals, different times of the hip bridges, and just see how that might make a difference in what I feel. Good, and then some windshield wiper legs. Then I'm going to add, when you take your legs to one side, go ahead and roll over so that whole outer arm comes reaching over. And then come back and go to the other side. And if that feels good, you want to do it a couple of times. And then taking a figure 4, I'm going to set the right ankle over the left thigh, place the left foot to the floor, and gently press the hands into the legs right at the hip crease. Straighten the arms and press away and just see what that feels like. And then bring the legs closer to you if you're able. Maybe put a block under your head and take a stretch of this shape. And then we'll release. Switch sides. Take your left ankle over the right thigh and just start to set it up. Take your hands to your upper thighs. Press away. Eventually bring the legs closer to you and you can weave your hand through and just set up a static stretch. Okay, then we'll release, roll to one side, come to sit up. Start with your feet in front of you, knees bent, and do more windshield wipers. So just like we did lying all the way down, you can do the same thing here. Lean to one side and reach the outer arm all the way around for a twist and a stretch. And then go to the other side. So this is one of my all-time favorite moves. It just feels so needed pretty much on a daily basis, at least for my body. We all have our favorites and our needs. And then I'm going to suggest taking a reverse table, aka crab, or I don't know, there's probably lots of names for it. And so I am having my fingertips pointing in towards my body, but you might have a different position depending on your shoulders and everything, right? Okay, after that, we are ready to come back to hands and knees. Come to a plank. Come up, see if you can hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. And from here, I'm going to reach from one arm out in front, other leg back, lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch arms and legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Arms out to the sides or however you want them to be. So arms and legs are both up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Rest your forehead on your arms and rub from side to side. Bend your knees, sway your legs behind you, and just see how that feels different from when we did windshield wipers in the other positions. Okay, release the legs, hands by your sides, curl your toes. See if you can take a push-up with your knees down, and you could even try it, 1 or 2 times, and just see if it's there. Take your hands wider, however you need to. And then we're gonna come to down dog, okay? Down dog. I think all of you know by now how I like to practice it, and that is finding your own situation, your own alignment. and exploration with it. And depending on what you've been doing, you might need to really focus on stretching the calves, the shins. Other days it might be more about the spine, the shoulders. All right, we're gonna step the right foot forward. So you can either drop your knee down first and step the right foot out and walk your way up, or you can step it directly forward. We're gonna come upright in the low lunge. Curl the back toes under after a few moments of checking in. And then rise up. So coming up into your high lunge, I'm going to take my arms out like cactus arms, and then slowly lead with the elbows to bring the arms in and maybe tap the forearms together, perhaps. And then separate again, reach the arms out to the sides, and keep going with that. In and out. You're still holding the lunge, and then open the arms out to the right. Back down with the hands, and sweep the right leg straight back and up into three-legged dog. And then see if you want to bend the knee, you can stay there, or even flip over into your open-hearted side plank, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then we'll flip back over, drop the right knee down, and come right into a supported side plank. Left arm up. If you want to float the leg up, you can try that. You could even bend the left knee and grab the foot. And maybe even float the right hand up for a second. Just challenge yourself. Release. Back to center. We're going to do the other side. Come to left foot forward in the lunge. So you can step it forward any way you like. Coming up into your high lunge. Setting your arms out to the side. Playing with some spine work and pelvis tilting work. Bringing the elbows in. Forearms touch, sweeping back out. Good. And then twist to the left. From there, hands down, sweep the left leg up and back. And you could bend the knee and hold there, or flip all the way over into your wild thing back bend. Flip back over, left knee comes down, side plank variation. And again, you could play around with leg lifting up or grabbing the foot, working there, maybe even trying to balance on the bottom knee. Not to come up in it, just to see what you have to use to hold yourself here. And then we'll come back and rest on our knees.